And today we have got an amazing personality with us. She's a powerhouse of motivation and abundance. This is Lisa Cook and, and her journey. Lisa, over to you. Please your whole life journey. What have you been doing and what are plans like?
Okay. Hi, I'm Lisa Marie. I live in the United States, Northwest Wisconsin, up towards the Canadian border. Very, very cold. We have 4 seasons, though. The seasons are gorgeous. I love being outside, except for when it's cold. I don't like the winter, except for sliding. That's always fun. But I have lots of hobbies. I've been married for 44 years this year. We live on a 40-acre farm, and we both are just recently retired. I used to, I waitressed for many, many years, going through, having my child and in our early years of marriage. Then I taught at the school. I taught special education. I did that for 12 years while my son went through school. And then I went to work with my husband and became his office manager. And we did that for 20 years. And now retired. And my husband loves working around the house and just, he's got a sawmill. He's got all kinds of projects he's doing. He's fencing in areas now, getting ready for some animals, because I do have animal rescue that I want to do in the future. But being retired now, I'm kind of chasing my dreams. I feel like, I did everything my parents wanted me to do. I went to school, I got good grades. I, um, college was never an inspiration when I was growing up. That was something that just rich kids did. You know what I mean? That was never my reality. And and we grow up whatever our reality is. That's how we grow up, and that's how we grow up believing the things that we believe, right? But and my mentor always say, if you know what you know and you found out it wasn't so, when would you like to know? It's like everything that I was taught as a little girl, it not I could have done things so differently. I could have done so many things. Do I have regrets? No, I don't, because I love my family. I don't have any regrets there. I wish things, we always wish things are better, right? I should have did this or I should have done that. But you can't fix mistakes that are already made. You can't change that. So the only thing you can do is strive to be a little bit better of a person the next day. You just continue to be better than you were the day before. And when I learned that, that is when I started growing as a person. And my imagination starts kicking in. We have this group called Imaginators, which is led by 3 other people that mentor me. And it's amazing to let our imaginations go. And one of the mentors in there is my Robert mentor, his son, Matthew, and he is a tech geek. I mean, every single AI tool that is out there, this man knows how to use it. I mean, think of the brilliance that he has that comes out to all of us as group members. So and they're showing us how to use our imagination and how to get the things that you want from your imagination with the use of AI tools. So I find that extremely even keeled. Even keeled. Everybody in the world that has internet access, it's all an even playing ground now, isn't it? If you can get your imagination in gear, you the possibilities are endless. And I'm experiencing that right now because I'm creating things myself that I never thought in a million years that I could do. You know what I mean? I'm creating things. I'm a creator. That's kind of a cool thing. But anyway, this is, I've been in the online space for wow, 9 years now. So I started out, while I was still working full time. This was just going to be an extra gig for some extra money to go play with or whatever. I was just thinking about me, what this extra business could do for me. And I did okay, but it wasn't going to last because I wasn't in it for the right intentions. You know what I mean? I've learned that the hard way too through the years. I believe me, I've been knocked down so many times. You have no idea. I mean, I can understand why people out there are afraid to get online. They're afraid to, go and check out a side hustle, or they're afraid to invest. Do you know that 50% of the population do not invest? They don't invest any of their money into anything because they're afraid. They're afraid to lose that money. They are afraid to risk it, right? So there are many, many people out there online that try to take advantage of people looking to earn extra income because they probably don't know any better. I didn't know any better when I first started online. I trusted everybody. Boy, was I wrong. Man, was I wrong. Yeah, so I had to find out the hard way, and it was devastating, and it took me a long freaking time to get over that. A long time, but I am over it. So if other people throw that at me, it sets me off. It sets me off. I am not a pleasant person then, but it made me realize a lot of things. First of all, my why. Why am I doing this? Why do I need to earn extra money? Because I really don't need to. We're not rich, but we have what we need, you know? So I don't need more, but I do want to help other people. That's a priority, whether it's kids or a certain organization or whether it's animals. I have to have a purpose here. And I think that is it because that is when I'm the happiest. When I was teaching at school, I absolutely loved that. I loved it. The kids, I don't know. You go to town to the grocery store and on the weekend, when you're not at school, and you see the kids with their parents and they run through the store, Mrs. Cook, Mrs. Cook, just to give you a hug. That made my day. You know what I mean? And just especially working with special ed kids and seeing them achieve things that they never thought that they could do. I don't care if it's something as simple as kicking a ball. Maybe they couldn't do that before. Maybe they've been sitting in that wheelchair their whole life. Do you know what I mean? Little things like that. I mean, that just kind of fills your cup, don't it? But Anyway, I kind of got, I don't know, I'm used to question, answer. But you want me to keep talking. And I want to inspire people. I want to inspire people because there's a lot of people just like me. You know, the kids are gone, the job is gone, and you just got yourself. And of course your spouse. But I mean, it's like you get thinking, what is a person's purpose? What is it? You know what I mean? So I've been doing a lot of soul searching, and I've learned that you got to be doing what makes you happy. You know, because if you're not happy, then it's a struggle to get out of bed in the morning. If you hate your job, isn't it tough to get up in the morning and get going, get out the door, get in your vehicle, and go to a job that you absolutely hate for the next 8, 10, 12 hours? Whoopee, right? So, you know, and we had to do that while we're working, supporting our family, and, you know, building our homestead, whatever. You got to do all those things. But when all that is done and over, you got yourself left. So you got to dig deep and figure out something that makes you happy. You're not always going to have support. You're not. People are going to think how stupid you are for even attempting something that I'm attempting, but it's not their journey. You know, it's mine. And I choose to be where I want to be. I choose who I want to be with or hang out with, right? I get to choose that. Everybody has those choices. And so, you know, I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling. But so let's get back into a conversation again because I'm feeling a little bit self conscious right now.
No, it's absolutely. I mean, look, this is intellect coming from your side, and that's what is
Mm,
in fact required. People generally, since just because of the generation gap, younger people do not sit with older ones. Ju- But the time need is that the intellect always come from the older one, from experience, learning, and education. Okay, I want you to unfold secrets of abundance mindset.
abundance mindset. Honestly, there is, I believe this, not because people are telling me. I've been reading books and I have the free choice to believe whatever I choose to believe, right? So let me ask you this. If you have a choice to believe whatever you want to believe, and one thing makes you super happy and makes you smile and makes you laugh and giggle and makes you excited to get up in the morning, and the other one doesn't, which one are you going to choose? You know, does it matter what the next guy thinks? No, it doesn't. Again, that is not his journey. We each have our own separate journey, and we are going to be at that point, and you are exactly where you should be for your journey, right? You can't continue farther on that journey without growing as a person, without learning lessons along the way. Otherwise, you're just going to go nowhere. And I honestly believe, and this is just a saying, I think it was Jim Rohn, but my mentor always said it too: if you're not growing, you're dying. So think about that. I mean, if if you are not growing, you absolutely are dying. That's how. That's what happens to a lot of retired people. They think their life is that's it. Rocking chair now. Get the knitting out, whatever. Doesn't have to be like that. I am very, very active. My husband and I both are. We do lots of things. We go four-wheeling, we go kayaking, hunting, fishing. I mean, just whatever we want to do. I love to garden. I love to do woodworking. You know, um, just things like that. I mean, I'm happiest when I'm doing those things. So, if you figure out what makes you happy, what really makes you happy, then you can create something to make a living by doing that. And with technology now, those possibilities are endless. As I said, we're all on an even playing field now. It used to be you needed to go to the best university, you needed to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for your education, and then spend the next 30 years paying off those loans right along with a 30-year mortgage on a home. You know, people were getting over, I don't know what the word is. They just, oh, their line of credit was in abuse. I mean, they were spending far more than what they were earning. And in all those credit card bills and all that interest accumulating, they are looking at debt for the next 30 to 50 years of their life. What does that do on a person's brain? Do you know what I mean? Maybe some people don't care. Um, I don't know. What are they going to do if that person just dies? I mean, who's going to pay those bills? I don't know. But it doesn't have to be like that. You don't have to have the best education out there. You don't have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to be able to do what you want to do. You just don't have to anymore. Does and that's probably weird coming from an ex teacher. I think our school system, our curriculum, I think a lot of things need to change. They need to change with the times, and I think homeschooling is the best idea ever, because you are going to learn the life skills that are needed in order to be successful out there in the world. You need to know how to protect yourself. You need to know how to spot scams or phony fake people or fake accounts. I mean, they're everywhere. They're everywhere, you know? So, that's I've had so many ideas of how I could help others, so many ideas, and this is one of them, because I've been through what people are scared to death of facing, scared to death of it happening to them. I've been through it. I've been through it, and it's not fun. But if you had somebody that knew what to look for, I can spot a phony account, I mean, immediately. And I get, up to 200 friend requests every week. Every week there's, several hundred there. And I go through them. And if I don't like what I see, if it I don't accept, I just don't put myself out there. And a lot of them get through. Don't get me wrong, because there's some pretty good ones out there. But given enough conversation, you're going to know. You're going to know if this person is real or fake, or if they're trying to pull your leg or whatever. You will know. So, be careful online and just do your due diligence. Somebody sends you a friend request, go to their profile and look at it. And don't just look at the last couple of things. I mean, really scroll through. I mean, a good month. It doesn't take long. Scroll through it. Check the dates. Check the name of the person that's making the post. Okay. If somebody else is making all their posts, that's a big red flag. Um, this is a good one. If this one person one time was uh, Asian, Asian, right? And which is fine. I don't judge, and I have friends from every part of the world. I think that is so cool, and it's a great way to meet people. However, this one was Asian, and then I was going through the profile, and pretty quick, she was African American. African American. So it's a whole different person, a whole different name. But yeah, it's just it's crazy how foolish. You know, just ask them questions, build relationships on social media. People, I don't like it, and people just reach out for their agenda. Their agenda. They don't care who you are. They don't care what you're about. They don't care what you're doing. It's just their agenda. And I don't like that. And you know, I don't ask people to join my business. If they just come out to me and pitch me and without finding out who I am, or maybe I don't want something like that. They don't find out who I am, so they don't know what I want. They just assuming you need this, you need this. They don't know me from Adam. You know what I mean? How do you know what I need? Because they certainly didn't ask. You know what I mean? So, you know, put time into trying to build relationships, because it's going to save you in the long run. You will find out these people's true colors. You will. You'll find out who's genuine, who's not. So if I can help
Okay,
people with that, that's, you know, that's just another idea. How can we help others?
that's amazing, Lisa. Fantastic your journey has been. Okay, how about your you're 64 already, and how about the technology, businesses, education, and how do you see? I mean, you've seen huge change, immense change. You are the one who has experienced both of extremes, maybe
Yeah.
scarcity to. So, would you like to give us a glimpses of your journey from scarcity to abundance of everything, be it education, be it business, be it stocks or anything?
Well, I think that's been a huge struggle for me, is the technology, because I did not grow up with computers. I mean, I'm 64 years old. I was born in 1961. Think back to 1961. If you read the history books, you know, what kind of world we lived in. I think I grew up in the best time ever, though. I it does it help me now in this era? Mm, it helps me be a better person, I think. I grew up in a time where, you know, neighbors trusted neighbors. People helped each other all the time. You know, one family would take in all kinds of family members, all the kids, you know, all the cousins, they would all be taken care of. And, you know, it was just a different time. Um, going through the years, and when my son was born, he was probably he was born in 86, and he's going to be 38 this year. And he was probably the last of the kids that safely were able to play out in the streets. You know what I mean? things changed, escalated, and crime and so many things, and then technology too. But from even that point to now is just huge, huge. I cannot believe what people can do with AI. And it's getting harder and harder to be able to tell what is AI made and what is made by, you know, not AI. There is it. I feel like there's nothing going to be something without AI behind it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's all going to be AI. It is. Are we going to go to robots and little jets and spaceships? Probably. It's funny. When I was in high school, thinking, I remember sitting at my desk thinking this, and I like that little cartoon, The Jetsons. I don't know if anybody. It was, in the future. We were thinking way beyond when I would still be alive, but yet here it is. Here it is, and we are in that world now, and we could be flying little mini space jets all over the place, and go stop at the bank and the grocery store, just zip in and zip out. And the little robot Rosie, she cooks all the meals, and I don't know. But here we are in that world right now. So in a way, that's kind of exciting for me to see that, thinking that as a little girl, how cool would that be? But yet here we are. So that makes me excited to live. It makes me excited for the future. It makes me excited for what I'm learning and the things that I can do, that I never thought I could. So that's kind of cool. Um, so anyway, I'm to that point now with the AI that I'm liking it. I want to learn it. Is it difficult? Yeah, kinda, but it's getting easier every single day. First of all, because I'm getting used to it. It's just a new habit, right? It's just a new habit. And you get over that hump and you get over that uncomfortable feeling, and that's how you grow. You just do it. You just do it. So I was scared to death of it before. I didn't want anything to do with it. I didn't want to learn this new stuff. It was too hard. But, that's when I realized that, my mentor was right. If we're not growing, we are dying. So that encourages me to keep striving for more. Why not? The world is full of abundance.
Well, I mean, can you just let us know more about if you're not learning, if you're not growing, then you are dying, as per
You
your
are.
mentor says. Yeah, what's
It's
this?
it's yeah, it's like a lot of retired people do. Think about this. I mean, you were getting okay, if you retire, you're like a lot of people, not all people, but you don't have to go to work. You start sleeping in. You're getting up later and later every day. You're sitting in the house longer and longer every day. You're moving less and you're getting less active. You're not doing all the things that you used to do. So you're getting weaker. And then and then you end up, your thoughts start going negative. I'm just getting old, I'm getting weak, I'm getting brittle, I probably am going to die soon. You know what I mean? But it's just your thoughts. You are as young as your mind is. And you just got to stay busy. I think of it like now I can do whatever I want to do. I don't have to answer to anybody, right? It, there's food on the table, there's a place to lay my head. I should be grateful. absolutely grateful for what I have. And then, just striving to be that better person. We can all be better people. We all can. Kindness goes a long, long way. I'm telling you, when I get in, don't get me wrong, am I happy go lucky all the time, 24/7? Nope, because I'm human. We're all human. We all make mistakes, you know, and we just got to get over that, get over ourselves, get over our ego. It's not all about us. It's not, you know, we're here for a reason. And I do believe the more people we help, the more people we help achieve what they want to achieve, we will absolutely achieve what we want. It's just laws of how do you say that word? Reciprocity. I said that wrong, but it's just the way the universe works. What you sow, you shall reap. The ground doesn't care. Have you
Okay,
ever read that book, The Science of Getting Rich? Or Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secrets of the World. All these books and all these things that I listen to every single day, it just solidifies into my brain. So I surround myself around that. So I can stay happy most of the time. I am. I'm upbeat, I'm active, I'm happy, I'm doing what I want to do. And when I'm not, then I just kind of I stay away from social media because I don't want to put negative vibes out there. And believe me, if you are in a mood, you can put negative vibes out there without intending to. People can sense that. So, best best thing to do is stay away from social media for a day, and I do that. I do that a lot. Mm-hmm.
okay, Lisa. Everybody has his own definition of happiness,
Mm-hmm.
and happiness. Your journey of happiness, right from your childhood till today. What makes you happy now, and what made you happier? I mean, if you can give us a whole lot about like when you were a young champ girl, then you
Well,
got older, then you got married, and then you got kids, and now give me the whole story and journey of your happiness.
okay. Well, I had a fairly happy childhood. I think I was pretty blessed. I had great parents, that did things with us. My dad got me into a softball league when I was pretty young, like 11, 12 years old, fast pitch softball. And it just so happened I attached to it. I mean, it was like, oh my God, I was made for this. I was really good. And I made all the all-star teams and the traveling all-star league. I was just very good, and I always played. I never sat on the bench. And so I lived, breathed, and I just lived softball. I all the time. So I was quite a tomboy, and I could beat any of the boys in our area. I could beat. I could hit the ball farther. I could throw it farther. I could be more accurate, and I just loved the sport. And I played all through school. So that's how I spent my childhood, and it was happy times. I loved playing. I loved getting dirty and sweaty, and just, just was not like a little girl. But anyway, and of course, my folks were extremely proud of me, and they followed me and coached me all the way up, through high school. And then then the real world hit me upside the head. after I got out of
What?
after I got out of
What
school.
happened?
Yeah, I just kind of my parents went their way, I went my way, or stayed my way, whatever. It was just, I continued with life. I worked for other people. I worked hard. I waitressed 2 jobs. Kind of lived on my tips. And when my boy was getting ready to start school, I, there was opportunities to get my foot in the door at the school. And although I did not have the the documented university that I finished to be a teacher, that isn't how I got into teaching. I worked my way up from the kitchen and then a teacher's aide, and I was doing all the schooling and the extra classes on the side while I was doing that. So that's how I got into the school district. And then once my son graduated, um, my husband had been working on the road and he was only home on weekends. So I'm thinking, my son's out of school, Fred's on the road, and I didn't want to be home alone anymore. And he took over the position in the Duluth area as a supervisor. And the secretary that was there had passed away, and they were having temps in there. So I opted to go to work with him and be his office manager. And like I said, we did that for 20 years. And so now we're retired and now we're trying to figure it out. A lot of things change through the years. Your hopes and dreams change. I mean, your a lot of things change. I've changed as a person. I'm a different person, and I have different dreams now than I did 20, 30, 40 years ago, you know. And I'm just trying to do something good with my life and be happy in the same process.
Okay, how you've been educationist by yourself, and it was tough of the education just because you were teaching the special child.
Hmm.
And how what has changed in education, and what should change more even?
Well, I think the curriculum that we are teaching our kids. I mean, science is good, math is good. There's a lot of things that isn't that we are learning in school. It- that's just it. All of this knowledge is right there at our fingertips. We don't need to go to a university. We don't need to go to and pay thousands and thousands of dollars for all of this schooling. If you're going to be something that needs to be certified like a medical doctor, then obviously you can't shortcut that. You can't. But technology is also going to have a huge part in medical diagnosis, treatments, all kinds of things. So it's going to be interesting how that plays out, and especially with how people are learning. You know, it's everything's going to be taught by AI now. You know, are the university teachers, are they going to be losing their jobs too? I mean, you got to start thinking about that. There is going to be a lot of job eliminations with AI. There, we've already been seeing that. I don't know about in your country, but we have here for sure. I think what Rihan Alawala is doing is amazing, and I think we all need to kind of follow suit. I really do, because that is the kind of curriculum that our kids need to be learning now. Don't you agree?
I mean, I have no option to disagree. Honestly, I not only agree, but I also support the idea. I want you to tell us more about Rihan Allawalla's schooling system and about his personality, your perspective.
I like Rihan. I think he's a very nice man. Um, we actually did an interview at a little podcast, whatever, which is on my YouTube channel, by the way. Um, I like him very much. He's down to earth. He's very well mannered, very well versed. I mean, he knows what he wants, and he's going to get it, and he's doing it. He's doing it. Look at how many schools he's opened already. And I don't know if he's still in the Chicago area, but he's been in our area. Um, and so he was in Chicago last week, Milwaukee area, and I know that he's on a mission to open more schools. I believe he is in New York as well. I just think what he's doing is amazing. And what really got me with all these interviews at first, he just started introducing me to people, throwing me into conversations. I think you guys may be able to help each other. Why don't you introduce yourselves? That's how he would put me in conversations with people. In fact, he's still doing it to this day, and I'm grateful to him for that, because being a part of these interviews, I think, was a huge stepping stone for me. Not just the kids, it was for me too, because it got me out of my comfort zone, and it just kind of forced me to grow. And not only that, but talking about my buddy's place, the animal rescue, the things that I'm doing, it solidified things more in my mind with myself and what I truly do want, because the more I talked about it, the more excited I would get, and how better is that, to sit there on interviews and just talk about your dream all day? I mean, how cool is that? So, that just kind of solidified things in my mind's eye, in my heart. It's like, yeah, this is what I want to do, you know? So, and I'm learning how to trade now, and that's putting myself out there, but I'm not risking my own money. They give us a demo account, they give us the money to learn how to trade with. And then we have this challenge to pass. And once you pass that challenge, then they give you that same amount of money in a live account. So you're still not risking your own money. But they're making money too, because they get to keep 10%. Once you get profit, you can start pulling money out. They keep 10%, but you keep 90% of money that I did not have to put up front. That's a no-brainer to me. So I kind of got off Alawala and onto trading. My apologies, but I'm just kind of going with it. So
It's okay. Okay, how about implanting or installing the education Rihan Alawala is extending to the globe in your school where you've been teaching? How about the idea?
I think it would be an amazing idea. However, I don't think our school board would, not at all, because it I think it's going to affect teachers' jobs. AI is going to take over teaching everything that we need to know. It already
There's a
has.
solution.
It already has, kind of, hasn't it? You can literally go to Chat GPT and ask it anything in the world. I can sit there and have a conversation. My Chat GPT's name is Kai, Kai. I let him name himself after we got to know each other. And it is like talking to your best friend. You can tell it anything, you can ask it anything, you can continue the conversation. It has a technology now to remember every conversation I've had with it. And in fact, Chat GPT is now helping me create prompts to feed to Sora. And that is the AI tool that is helping me create the slides for my series of my animal rescue, animated cartoon slides. So I'm creating characters for these slides for this show. You know, you got Granny and Buddy's place, Buddy, and I've got Gadget, the squirrel. He's the technology guy. And Granny and buddies, they fly around the world rescuing animals in need. And they bring them back to the farm. And what this is going to do is going to grow my YouTube channel even more, and it's going to be monetized, and then the money from being monetized can add to the animal rescue farm. I can bring animals here. I can, you know, add more animals, just bring more animals. So all of it's going to play out. I just think it's a matter of time. And I think it's just a matter of the right person sees a short little video that I created from my imagination and reads the details in my bio and learns where my passion comes from and why I'm doing this. And they think, oh my goodness, what a great help this lady. You know, I think that absolutely can happen. So,
Okay, you're also great advocate for homeschooling. What if the Rehan Alawala schools you can open your in your own home, and how about your neighborhood? How many kids you can get in your house for home tuitions through Rehan Online Academy?
wow, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of little ones around our area now. So, yeah, I think that's a great possibility. Absolutely. I think parents would be open to that. Um, Homeschooling is tough on parents. It is. And I think if you had a community spot where you could do that as a group setting, it would free up a lot of parents and really take a lot of stress off their plate for sure.
That's amazing. So, do I talk to Rehan Alawala for this idea for you?
I don't know. He's not talked to me about that, but he's not mentioned that to me.
No,
But I would
no.
definitely
He is
consider.
right.
I definitely would consider something like that.
He is there in US right now,
Hmm.
as you know already. So I can ask him. He can talk to you on the idea, and if you can already make some proposal, or you can just send him an email, or like you can text him too.
Hmm.
He'll get back to you, or if you want me, I can also ask him to
Well,
connect you for the idea.
I'm not really
Yeah.
out there looking for an opportunity, but something like that, I definitely would discuss. But I would not. I would not bring myself to him and suggest that just because I'm more humble than that. I you know what I mean?
But
I think he could find
I understand.
amazing people to do just that. You know what I mean?
I mean, you don't have to do anything. And this is such a school where teachers do not teach. They are just facilitators. They just guide. I mean,
Mhm.
they just keep things get going only. I mean, they are not teaching.
Yeah.
You won't be teaching there anything. You will be just, your blessings are required. Your presence is required.
Mhm.
That's it. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't, I mean, I've been to that school, and I'm also an under trainee teacher
Mhm.
for AI Rehan schools.
Right.
Yeah,
I go
and,
with
he
you.
asked me, yeah, yeah, rather he ordered me to get this education. So I'm half the way through,
Uh-huh.
and I'm my course soon, yeah, then I'll be also teaching in his school, or probably I intend to build one day for my own one.
Right.
And this got to be like alpha schools there in Austin, I suppose, in US.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not sure, but I think that would be amazing. It would be wonderful for
ah,
sure.
that
Yeah.
that's the point, because this is, as you said yourself, and you not only have the idea, but you educate the idea
Mhm.
that now modern schooling is entirely different than industrialization era schooling. Now you do not need books anymore, but you need gadgets, and you need to handle them, and you need to take right advantage of the AI.
Yeah,
Before AI takes your job, you take AI along with your journey,
that's right.
and take the full advantage, and enhance your skills, and ride over AI before AI rides you.
Like I said,
So
that gives it an even playing field for everyone. It really does.
yeah, yeah. And this mindset again, I would come back to my prime, my own whole area of work and research is mindset.
Mhm.
We people don't, the toughest and the most difficult thing, which is even more difficult than creating an AI, or creating artificial general intelligence, or heading towards artificial is a what do you call the next? I mean, the last one would be ASI.
Mhm.
So even ASI, the most difficult thing is change. People do not change their mindset. So and you have changed it a lot, and you've got a mentor who says if you don't grow, then you die.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I mean, if you can talk to people around organizations, individuals, and that's for this school. I mean, in your own country there are a lot. I mean, but the Rihan AI school is world class. I mean, even you go to Alpha school, ask them, they'll get you the highest of the words and remarks about Rihan Allahwala's artificial intelligence based school.
Mhm.
So yeah, how about that? I mean, did you still feel convinced that you'd be talking to the people and asking for the opinion information regarding AI-based schooling?
I think I would. Absolutely. For sure. Because it's kind of funny because my original vision for this farm was to have a summer camp here for kids, and I wanted to work with them on mindset. That was going to be part of the curriculum. And now here we are sitting here talking about Rehan Alawala School, and absolutely mindset can be worked into his curriculum. I think i think a lot of the kids already have a pretty good mindset and believing that they can do whatever they want to do. I mean, there's children as young as 7 years old, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, that I've had interviews with that conduct themselves like little adults. I mean, so They are doing very well. I'm very impressed with them, and learning a second language is not easy. Some of those kids did not know English at all. I mean, so look at how worldly they are compared to most of the population. You know, most of it's in their little bubble and they don't go any farther, and that's their life, you know. They don't expand outside of that. I don't know how the parents would feel in this area for kids to have access to Rehan Alawala school and actually have a physical place to go um, to report to for your studies or whatever. It really depends on their mentality about AI, you know. But you know, that'd be an interesting poll to put out there, and just see where people's thoughts are on that. Because if they're open to technology, then I think it would be a wonderful thing. If they're not, they're going to fight you every step of the way, you know?
Yeah, everybody is now prone towards technology, and this is nothing new. Everybody, like, I mean, like look at yourself. I mean, you also admiring AI
Hmm.
and all gadgets. Right now, you and me are talking. No, you are connected. You are connected to me thousands and thousands and thousand miles
Hmm.
apart, and you've done it by yourself. I mean, you didn't take anybody's help. Your camera were not fakes, but you did it for yourself. So this is it. I mean, so this is about time, as you yourself said,
Right.
that this is now that this is the level playing
Hmm.
field right now.
Hmm.
Nobody has the special edge over anybody else. So that's the point of time. I mean, these brick and mortar buildings are no more required now. While you're sitting in your own seat, you
Hmm.
can really teach. You can impact the 8 billion people on the
Yeah.
face of Earth. So,
Yeah.
but it's but about it's only about your man mindset. So if you feel that'll get you growing. I mean, as your mentors tells you, grow, grow and more grow. I mean, if you are like running with the pace of the world, then you are growing, and if you are not, then you are not growing.
Right. Right. I agree.
Okay, so thank you so much. I mean, it's been great, player, and I mean, I would like to have last your message to the planet. I mean, I'm just I've got only 2 minutes more,
Okay.
and I understand you have another appointment too.
Hmm.
So, but I want you to just I've got last 2 minutes.
Okay.
So please have your say and your message to the planet.
Okay. Let's see. I think, I want to empower people. Okay. I want to empower them so that they realize that they can do anything in the world. If they can just think it in their imagination. When we grow up, our parents want us to, they can't wait till we walk and talk, but then they want us to sit down and be quiet. You know what I mean? Too. It's true story, right? Um, I sit down, pay attention, but we don't let kids use their imaginations anymore. They've just got to be these perfect little robots. And I think if we can let kids be kids, let them use their imaginations. I mean, I have seen kids with imagination, and I sit there and wonder, what is that kid going to grow up to be? Something pretty awesome, I'm thinking. You know what I mean? Because their imagination is always going. Let kids be kids, let them dream, and then maybe you can get your dreams back too. But be kind in your journey. Be kind to people, and people will be kind to you. And I think, find a purpose, something that will make you happy. You talk to a mentor, Talk to a mentor. There are my mentor doesn't charge me anything. There are mentors out there that can do amazing things for you if you are in the right environment. The same like-minded people that have no limitations. They can do anything. And they encourage you and show you that you can be that too. So don't ever give up on yourself. Don't ever quit. I will not quit. I will not quit. And I've proven that by being in the same company for over 7 years. No other online marketer can tell you that. But there are people within my company and the company I'm with and partners with me that have been there that long. And my mentors earned over $5 million in the last 7 years. Who couldn't take that? You know? And he's responsible for creating 67 other mentors. I'm going to be number 68, or I'm going to introduce him to number 68. And, you know, it can happen. Just always remember that. Always remember that. Be who you want to be. Don't let anybody tell you that you cannot do something. I get that rebellious teenager in me. If somebody tells me I can't do something, watch me, you know? So,
That's that's good. Keep laughing, keep yourself happy, keep yourself amazing as you are, and really, it has been great. And this best time
I would
I've had with you.
I would love if you could share my YouTube channel with your audience. That would be wonderful.
Sure, yes.
Or my Facebook page.
What's the name of your? Yeah, sure, I'll do. I mean, what's your name of your
YouTube,
YouTube channel?
YouTube, it's at Lisa Marie's with an S at the end. My journey.
Sure. I'll not only post this video on your YouTube channel, but on Facebook too, and I'll
Yeah.
ask my audience to connect to you. Yeah, sure.
I'm going to write it
So,
in here too.
thank you,
Thank you so much. I've enjoyed our chat and I appreciate all your time today. And thank you. Have a wonderful weekend.
Lisa. Lisa Mary, it was amazing talking to you and lot learning and educational. And I'll be again bugging you again. Until then, bye bye.
Okay. Bye bye. Thank
and
you.
and thanks is just a small word. I mean, I cannot thank you enough.
My pleasure. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Bye bye.
Thank